Now on the Valley today, police are looking for suspects after 2 incidents involving guns in South Fargo overnight.
And protesters took to the streets across the country after a tight presidential election ended with Donald Trump as the winner.
And there weren't too many complaints yesterday about the weather. We had some great conditions. More on the way today. Your forecast details coming up.
Live from Fargo and serving you on TV, online, and on the go. This is the Valley Today on Fargo CW.
Hey, very good Thursday morning, everyone, and thank you so much for waking up with the Valley Today on Fargo CW. Just past 7 a.m. I'm Kyle Bosch here with Lisa Bedeau. We do start with a story developing this morning. Police are trying to track down 2 robbery suspects who mugged a woman at gunpoint in South Fargo and are investigating another case about a man reported to have a gun just a few blocks away. Police say that they got the call about the robbery in the 1400 block of Oak Manor Avenue around 7:30 last night.
A woman says she was confronted by 2 black men. One had a gun, and they stole a small amount of money from her purse and then ran off. Police used a canine to track the 2, but came up empty. The description of the 2 suspects is limited. Police say they're not getting a lot of cooperation from the victim. Now, just before the robbery call, police also got a report about a man with a gun on the 2600 block of 14th Street South in Fargo.
Yeah, police tell Valley News Live this morning that they're not sure yet if those 2 incidents are connected. Well, let's get a first check of our weather this morning on Fargo CW with meteorologist Lisa Green. And we continue to kind of look back a little bit these days, but it's all for a good reason.
Right.
Another record-setting day temperature-wise.
Yeah, pretty remarkable how long our warm stretch has gone and that we're setting records still for warm temperatures even yesterday. Here's a look at those numbers. We hit 70 degrees in a couple of spots. At Jamestown, 70 was our high, and that is a record. And Wheaton also reached 70. Grand Forks set a record, in fact, by a large margin. We got to 68 degrees there. The record high was 61, so very warm. Fargo 65, and that was just 1 degree off the record high of 66. All of us enjoyed some really warm, sunny conditions yesterday, and we'll have more of the same today. We'll kind of scale back the heat a little bit. We're going to be back into the 50s for highs today. Can't quite hit a record-setting temperature every day, but we'll be seeing some upper 50s in Fargo and places in the Southern Valley. Mostly sunny skies. You can see the sun starting to rise here this morning, and we'll get some pretty decent weather. We'll just have to deal with wind out of the north, gusting up to about 30 miles per hour. So here's a look at our temperatures right now. It's a mild morning. There are places that are a little cooler than others. It's 37 degrees in Crookston and down in Fergus Falls. Fargo's at 40, and Grand Forks 48 degrees for you. So some spots are feeling a lot warmer than others. Our wind speeds are light in the south. We're starting to see some areas where it's picking up. Langdon, a 17-mile-per-hour gust out of the northwest right now, and more places will see that northwesterly wind throughout the morning, and it will be kicking up here a bit today as well. Checking out our radar. Completely quiet here in the valley. We'll have more of that throughout the day. Temperatures throughout the region, mid-50s up north this afternoon, Southern Valley, upper 50s with mostly sunny skies and just a bit of wind to contend with. Here's that 7-day planner. 57 today, tomorrow 49, mostly sunny for your Veterans Day. It will be cool though. Notice how cool we start off tomorrow morning, right around the freezing mark. So just be prepared for some chillier temperatures to begin your day. And then this weekend looks great. Mid to upper 50s, mostly sunny to partly cloudy skies. And the remainder of the 7-day planner also looking good. It's a little beyond the 7-day planner that we have a chance for some precip coming up. So that's our next one to keep an eye on. But until then, let's enjoy what we've got going on.
Very nice. I'm doing my best. Thank you, Lisa. New for you this morning, President-elect Donald Trump and wife Melania traveled to Washington today to meet with President Obama and First Lady Michelle. The high-profile meeting comes as Trump and his transition team prepare to take over the White House. Speaking from the White House yesterday, President Obama called for national unity to ensure the process goes smoothly.
Hillary Clinton has made her first public comment since conceding the election. In an emotional concession speech yesterday, she urged her supporters to give Trump a chance.
We have seen that our nation is more deeply divided than we thought. But I still believe in America, and I always will. And if you do, then we must accept this result and then look to the future. Donald Trump is going to be our president. We owe him an open mind and the chance to lead.
Now, during his victory speech early yesterday, President-elect Trump vowed to be a president for all Americans.
Developing this morning, despite the calls for unity, Trump's victory is triggering protests across the country, including in Minnesota, where a large group of people were marching in St. Paul overnight. The demonstration started early last night at the state capitol.
The group made its way through city streets, blocking traffic and light rail lines at times. It's estimated about 300 people were taking part. Police say that the protest did remain peaceful. Now, demonstrators also gathered outside Trump properties in several major cities. Trump himself stayed out of the public eye yesterday, meeting privately with staff to go over potential cabinet appointments.
A Twin Cities high school is investigating racially charged vandalism that referenced President-elect Trump.
Yeah, the word Trump, along with whites only, white America, and a more vulgar message were all written on a bathroom door. In a statement, a representative for Osseo area schools says the picture that was posted to social media is real and that they are horrified by it. School leaders say they are taking steps to support students and staff who may have been affected by the comments. North Dakota Congressman Kevin Cramer won re-election to the U.S. House on Tuesday, but a lot of people are wondering if there might be another job in his future.
Cramer developed a close friendship with President-elect Trump before the North Dakota primary in June, and their relationship has grown ever since. He became Trump's advisor on energy policy throughout his campaign and is now being mentioned in discussions for a cabinet position as energy secretary. Cramer tells Valley News Live he's flattered by the rumors, but says his intention is to remain North Dakota's lone congressman. North Dakota Governor-elect Doug Burgum is off and running as he prepares to take over his new position. He told reporters during his first news conference yesterday that he won't have a lot of time to look over Governor Jack Dalrymple's budget before the session, but will start to work more closely with him soon.
When it comes to the Dakota Access Pipeline protests, Burgum says that he is not second-guessing how the governor is handling the situation.
As governor and lieutenant governor-elect, we're not part of that decision-making chain until December 16th, and so we need to give our full support to the current legislation and not for current administration.
Now, Burgum yesterday also doubled down on his promise to refuse a salary, saying that if he has to accept it, he plans to donate it back to the state. He is set to be sworn in on December 15th. Well, an online petition is asking Fargo police to stop their involvement with the Dakota Access Pipeline protests. The Change.org petition was started by a senior at Concordia College who says that many people in the Fargo area are alarmed at the deployment of Fargo police officers to Morton County.
Law enforcement from various agencies in surrounding states have been called upon to help deal with the ongoing problems tied to the protests. Hundreds of people have been arrested since the protests started. North Dakota is going green. Voters on Tuesday passed the North Dakota Compassionate Care Act, which legalizes medical marijuana with an almost 65% approval. Parts of the new law say the state has 30 days to get the program going, and that if you didn't live within 40 miles of a dispensary, you could grow your own marijuana for medical use. But supporters say that timeline is not likely to happen. In fact, they think it could take about a year to get the program up and running. They also want to remind people you do need a doctor's prescription to take part in the program.
You're not going to be able to just go out and just start growing marijuana in 30 days. That's not going to happen. Position allows for it. Yes, I would like to try it anyway, just to see if it would alleviate my neuropathy and help me with my drop foot condition. Yes, I'd like to try it.
We've attached the full text of the new laws on our website. Just go to valleynewslive.com and click on this story.
The first Somali American ever to be elected to office in the United States will soon begin serving in the Minnesota State Legislature. Ilan Omar won almost 80% of the vote on Tuesday. She will represent District 60B in Hennepin County. Omar will start serving in January when the Minnesota legislative session kicks off. A man who contacted our whistleblower hotline says he's upset with Fargo police. Jack Bachirai says that he was attacked by someone with a baseball bat outside the PetroServe off 13th Avenue South in Fargo. He says that he was in the ICU for his injuries and even filed a police report with the names of his attackers, but so far, police aren't doing anything.
You know, we're scared to leave the house. We're scared to go upstairs, you know. We're scared to go anywhere because we're scared we know that we're going to end up with them.
Yeah, we did contact Fargo police. They say they are continuing to investigate this matter.
We're also following a disturbing story of alleged child sex crimes in northwestern Minnesota. 37-year-old Jeremy Jurdy of McIntosh has been charged with first-degree criminal sexual conduct.
The victim, a teenage boy, told authorities that Jurdy had sex with him numerous times, and sometimes Jurdy would allegedly get the victim drunk so he wouldn't remember what happened. If convicted, Jurdy faces up to 30 years in prison. Longtime Bemidji State University head football coach Jeff Tesh has been fired. The Minneapolis Star-Tribune reports that Tesh had been on paid administrative leave since August after allegedly using a racial slur during a practice.
Tesh released a statement thanking his players, assistants, and the community for support during his 2 decades as head coach. The Bemidji State University Faculty Association says it plans to file a grievance over Tesh's firing. Budget cuts have trimmed the number of hours that nurses are in many schools across the U.S.
Coming up next here on the Valley Today, what you need to know about making sure your child's health is taken care of when they're at school.